Flooding in Indonesia leads to other problems such as mudslides along roads in the mountains of Banten Province. Tzu Chi volunteers help a family convert an abandoned pigsty into a clean and livable space.
I'm Sean Scanlan. This is DaAi Headlines. In Indonesia, flood devastated Jakarta and neighboring Tangerang, where water reached 2 meters deep. Local Tzu Chi volunteers worked as a team to deliver daily necessities and secondhand clothes to disaster area.
After the floodwater receded, there are a lot of mud and damaged furniture on the streets of Tangerang. The residents gradually return home from the temporary shelters. They feel helpless about the situation.
We have lived here for 45 years. This flood was the worst. In the past, this place flooded occasionally, but it was up to there. This time, the floodwater was as deep as 1 floor. All the belongings have been ruined, and I do not know what to do.
This community was flooded and the water depth was as deep as 2 meters. The volunteers visit affected residents and distribute supplies to 500 households who were mostly affected.
Kita harapin semua relawan ini dengan melihat kondisi di lapangan mereka bisa bersyukur.
There are a lot of affected residents in this area, about 1,300 households. We have delivered daily necessities because their belongings have been ruined and their homes need to be cleaned up. In the future, we might still need to provide assistance.
In Malayu of Jakarta, the volunteers traveled to 4 temporary shelters to distribute aid supplies, including the clothes needed by the affected residents.
My children do not have a lot of clothes, and their clothes were damaged in the flood. I am not as worried about the 3 elder ones, but I am afraid the youngest one might catch cold.
The children at the shelters do not have a lot to wear. We organize second-hand clothes. Yesterday, we organized 9 bags, and today we organized 20 bags.
All the natural disasters happen all of a sudden. Now that we have encountered them, the volunteers encourage the residents to bravely face the disasters, take care of themselves so they can clean up their homes after the disaster.
Tzu Chi volunteers have also signed a cooperation plan with the Jakarta government. They will work with the government to help all the affected residents get through the tough times.
Floods in Indonesia caused mudslides in the mountains of Banten Province. About 1,500 houses were damaged and 30 schools were razed to the ground. TIMA members traveled to emergency shelters to provide a free clinic, not only providing medical treatment to the survivors, but also soothing their minds.
A whole mountain wall washed down and buried 191 houses and 30 schools. It is estimated that 1,500 houses were damaged. Residents were evacuated in midnight, yet there were people still trapped in the mountain.
We are very grateful for the arrival of Tzu Chi volunteers. Currently, we can evacuate the residents living at the foot of the mountain, whereas those living on top cannot because the bridge connecting the 2 villages was broken.
In Nepal Regency, Banten Province, there were 6 areas badly affected. TIMA members immediately went to the shelter to provide free medical service. Owing to the small space and chaotic environment, many survivors already have skin problems.
I'm very happy to receive treatment. I also want to thank the doctors for having treated my family.
TIMA members do not only provide physical treatment, but also mentally comfort to the survivors. Especially for those who lost contact with family are mostly anxious.
The water level was getting higher. My parents told me to get my clothes ready and went to a higher place. When I got there, other residents also hurried up to go there because the road was about to be flooded. All of us were very scared.
Flood survivors are really pathetic. They lost a lot in this disaster. What hurts them most was being separated from their families.
menyakitkan, keluarga itu saling terpisah.
Listening to survivors' sufferings and cleaning up their place, Tzu Chi volunteers kept them company with love to face the disaster.
In Zimbabwe, many residents have been suffering from drought, with some villagers so desperate that they catch ants to eat. Tzu Chi volunteers have traveled long distances to bring them rice supplies and water purifiers. Their timely help has cheered up the villagers.
The volunteers have brought more than 1,000 bags of 10-kilogram rice on the trucks. They are much needed as Zaka in Zimbabwe has been suffering from drought. In the district, the villagers lack food, and they even catch ants as food.
The ants will crawl up the stick. When they fill up the cup, we will bring it back home to bake it. If there is no salt, we can only drink water and then sleep.
We spray lots of salt and drink a lot of water. Then we will have milk to feed the children.
Mothers do not have milk for the children. The villagers do not have rice for food. They're desperately seeking help.
In Zaka East, we are having a drought situation, and our people are struggling to feed themselves.
More than 1,000 households in 60 villages can get the food, in addition to soap and water purifiers. Amidst the sound of Buddhist chanting, the volunteers deliver the supplies with a 90-degree bow.
I hope that in Africa, all people in suffering can get rice.
Being fed is no longer a dream.
I'm very happy because I have not eaten anything since I got up. I can cook rice after I return home.
As we cook for the children, they will be happy that they can eat rice.
The residents happily return home. Laughter can be heard on the dry land again.
As a Lunar New Year is approaching, Hualien Tzu Chi Medical Center sent out 40 doctors and nurses, along with their families, to visit the Rongguang community to clear and reorganize Mr. Xia's rundown house. This gave him a comfortable living environment for the holiday.
The leaking has rotted the board.
The house leaks because it has not been repaired. Mr. Shi is 60 years old, but he suffered from the stroke 8 years ago. That has left his left side paralyzed. He lives alone, so he cannot clean his house. Feeling sorry that he does not have a good living environment, over 40 doctors and nurses from the Hualien Tzu Chi Medical Center came to help him clean his house. When all the wet furniture has been removed, there is still a moldy smell. Everyone is busy cleaning his house. Dr. He Mingshan, who is Mr. Shi's ophthalmologist, also came to help him.
We've been focusing on treating his disease, but here's an opportunity for us to come to his house and understand his living environment and find out if he needs any special care.
Knowing that he loves to read, doctors also give him Tzu Chi publications and presents to pass on their love.
Our colleagues can come to inspire compassion so we can combine home visitation, long-term care to help suffering people or people in trouble in the community and give them a chance to turn around their lives.
Over 10 children are also there to do good deeds by cleaning up Mr. Shi's house as a team. Quickly, the house is pretty and clean.
I've lived here for 8 years and I've never cleaned the house so clean. I want to thank Tzu Chi and Master Zheng Yan.
Volunteers place spring couplets at Mr. Shi's house and offer him their best wishes, wishing him to live comfortably and celebrate the Lunar New Year.
This week we introduce a new series about Tzu Chi's help for poor families, specifically repairing family homes. In the first episode, we take you to visit the Huang family of 5 in Zhanghua. The parents work odd jobs and earn a meager income as the family lives in a converted pigsty whose messy condition puts stress on the family.
It used to be a pigsty that was uninhabited. We are like beggars, which makes me feel sad when I think about it.
Relying on odd jobs, Ms. Huang always felt a debt to her child. This family of 5 were constantly repairing their leaking house. This 5th grade sister sleeps with her parents. The master bedroom is actually the living room.
Her mother says she has to stay late and do homework at school because they don't have a desk at home. Washing with cold water in winter is common practice for this family. Because there's no kitchen, the picture of mother turning the spatula can only be imagined in her mind. If I had a magic wand, I would like to make our living space better. It's better to have a place to sleep and then a kitchen. I have never seen my mother cook in a kitchen. She often doesn't know where her next job is. This gives her some anxiety. Ms. Huang said that coming to the mountain to help her friend care for ducks helps her relieve pressure. I feel coming here puts me in a better mood. It's more stressful at home. Living in a messy environment impacts this family emotionally. Changing roof tiles, cleaning the walls dividing the master bedroom, giving this young daughter her own bed and desk. The remodeled house is a result of volunteer work by Tzu Chi, which did repairs by hand, installed a hot water heater in the bathroom and a small kitchen. It's incredibly delicious. Mom eats vegetables, I eat tofu. A pot of instant noodles warms their heart with happiness. Maybe life is still difficult for them, but at least they have a home and a shelter from the wind and rain, helping these children grow and develop.
In the aftermath of Cyclone Idai in Mozambique, Tzu Chi volunteers continue to care for affected residents. A single mother received Tzu Chi's help in July. On the same day, she gave birth to a baby girl. Therefore, she named her gratitude to give thanks to Tzu Chi.
On the day of the distribution, a 5-month-old baby became the star of the village. Her name is a word everyone often says.
We want to express our gratitude to the master. The other day we received the supplies and finally have food to eat. We're happy our daughter is born, so we name her Gratitude.
In the aftermath of Cyclone Idai, many affected residents had to sleep on the ground. Tzu Chi delivered the Jingsi multifunctional folding beds to their houses.
She takes care of 6 children along here. She said on July 13th, she received the rice and grain powder Tzu Chi distributed, also the recyclable bowl. She cooked the rice when she returned home that day, and she was very happy and grateful. On 6 p.m. at night, she delivered the baby girl. Gratitude is a very calm child, and she felt that the baby is very smart.
是一个很沉稳的小孩，然后他也觉得他，感觉到这个小孩挺聪明的，
看他感觉看起来啊，就是蛮健康的小孩哦，在这里很少。
She looks like a pretty healthy child. It's rare to see a big chubby child here, but she weighed quite heavily. I had carried a 9-month-old baby before, which was a lot lighter than her, so I think she had good nutrition from the mother's milk.
At the tent area, there's a farmhouse which was built by her son himself.
My eldest son is only 20 years old, and he studied till 9th grade. He said he used to do part-time jobs at the construction site, but now he cannot find any job. But they try to plant something in the field.
They planted their food on the field as they strive to survive in this difficult environment with their wisdom.
Tzu Chi held a tea party in Mozambique where local volunteers acted out the Buddha's life. Although there was no stage nor delicate props, volunteers tried their best to truly convey the spirit of Buddha's enlightenment.
The story of Buddha was presented from the beginning in Mozambique. A prince who grew up in the palace succeeded his father's business. Putting on the royal robe, the prince hesitated. He took the courage to visit the people and came across childbirth, aging, sickness, and death in his journey. In this community party at Great Love Village in Tikal Town, Buddha's scriptures as well as Buddha's enlightenment under the Buddha tree are presented. Volunteers in the community direct and act by themselves, and they also share in the plot. Although there is no luxury stage or dedicated props, volunteers in the community interpret Buddha's story with their purest heart.
It has been a year since Dolio Tzu Chi Hospital was upgraded. A tea gathering was held to celebrate the occasion. The hospital building has a history of 16 years, but the medical equipment has been upgraded, allowing medical professionals to continue to safeguard the health of the residents.
Opening with lively drums to celebrate the first anniversary of Dolio Tzu Chi Hospital's promotion.
We passed the evaluation of the regional hospital very smoothly. Superintendent Dr. Jen led all of our colleagues, and we have achieved good goals in 1 year.
I'm here to send a blessing to Dolio Tzu Chi Hospital. We expect more medical professionals to join this team in the future. At the same time, our residents can get the best health care.
Yunnan County ranks second in the country in terms of aging and physical disability. For 16 years, Tzu Chi has joined the local medical medical system in Doliu, supporting the national long-term care system to provide comprehensive care for the elderly.
It's been a year now. Just like a baby has learned to walk, I think what Master told us is not only to move forward, but also to take it step by step. So I encourage my colleagues to improve the quality of medical care, and personnel must be trained as well.
After upgrading, the hospital provides complete medical services and actively upgrades equipment, caring for the disadvantaged. On the top of that, it has passed the first regional hospital evaluation and achieved good results in the medical quality competition.
I'm glad the hospital equipment and physicians here are getting better. It makes us feel safe to live here and be good care of.
祝斗六慈济医院生日快乐！
Tzu Chi Teachers Association has 28 years of history, and its members have been teaching Jingsa aphorisms at local schools to promote character education. Last October, volunteers in central Taiwan even went to 88 schools to solicit secondhand clothes for people in Africa.
They don't have any clothes to wear. They aren't as fortunate as us.
In October, Tzu Chi volunteers went to schools to raise love. They asked their students to donate the clothes they would not wear for the children of Mozambique.
We inspired their love and raised their love.
We folded the clothes and told our students that you have to put your love into the clothes.
他们呢，从来没有看到，何况穿过，没有过，所以我们的陆陆续续。 安尼送出去，对他们来说呢，真的是如天衣一样的欢喜。老师心不杀心。
These teachers are bodhisattvas. Tzu Chi Teachers Association has been established for 28 years. Jingsa aphorisms are being taught at school.
We discuss how to introduce stories related to aphorism to classes.
Tzu Chi also joined the training to become Tzu Chi volunteers.
I want to report to the master that we will continue studying the work of educating students.
听骨磨皮吼，甲恁听入去骨髓内底啦。 啊吼，唔惊皮疼啦，总是呢爱磨嘛，啊没有磨哪有现在呢那样的整齐，那样的投入，那样为社会教育的栋梁。
One major task for teachers is to nurture talented people for society, so they can fully use their potentials.
Master Zheng Yan returned to her hometown in Jingshui, where many volunteers waited for her arrival. The area is also famous for rush grass, which is woven into many useful items. We will leave you with these images. Goodbye.